Hey friends, I just wanted to show you what I did with this wood heart cutout from the Dollar Tree. I'm using the wall tile from Dollar Tree as well, and right now I'm just tracing it on the back, and then I'm going to set that aside and cut it out. And while you're cutting it out, be careful, because as you cut more out, the white plastic backing doesn't stay attached, and so where I drew it out, you want it to stay in place so the heart on the tile is the right shape. So anyway, be careful as you're cutting that out, and you'll see as it's completely cut out that the plastic part in the back comes off. So just discard the back there and now put it on, and I'm just going to hot glue it onto my wood sign. And I did take the jute twine hanger that was on the board off. And this would be a really cute project to, once it's finished, add the holes again and put the twine or a wire hanger in and make it a hanging heart. But I opted to leave it one that I put it in an easel is what I'm going to do. And now I'm going to paint this with white chalk paint by Waverly. Just putting on a good coat all around it. And as you will see, I will dry it and then I'll put a second coat on. Just using a cheap sponge brush that I get at the Dollar Tree. These work just as well as a paintbrush, I think. You can use them over and over again, and after they wear out or whatever, I just throw it away. Now I'm going to use my heat tool to dry this real quick. These are great. If you don't have a heating tool, a blow dryer would work just as well. Or if you have the time, just let it air dry. It dries pretty quick that way too. But for the sake of time for the video, I'm glad I have the heat tool. Making sure that's pretty close to being completely dry before I put on the second coat. And just getting all the places that didn't get a good coating the first time, just putting on a second coat, and then I'll dry it again. I love this wall tile with the raised areas, the raised design. It's so fun to use on all kinds of craft projects. And after I dry it, you'll see what I'm going to use those raised areas for. Give it another quick dry here. And it's so nice that it dries fairly quick. Now I'm taking my distressed ink pad and I'm just going over all the raised areas there and putting that dark color. The color is called Potting Soil, and I did at one time think it was a Tim Holtz brand, but it's not. It's just an off-brand. I'm not even sure what it is, but I've had it a long time and I use it on most everything. Now I'm going around all the edges I love how distressing all the edges just gives it definition, depth. I really love this look. I know not everybody does, but I really, really love this darkened old vintage look. And I'm even going to go over the raised areas a little bit with my sponge dabber, places that the ink pad didn't get very well. I think it looks so pretty already. And now I've got some of this burlap netted type ribbon that I bought on, I believe I got this on Temu. I'm not exactly sure. It was either Temu or Amazon, but I'm pretty sure it was Temu. Just doing a little bit of hot glue on the back there, on both ends. And then I have this little white daisy ribbon that I'm going to put on top of that. I'm doing the same thing, just making a strip of glue there. And then I'll glue each end in the back like I did the burlap. This first end I held it down and didn't wait for it to get completely secured down, so it flips back up again, but that's an easy fix. Just pushed it right back down. Turn it over. Now I'm going to make a little bow out of that same netted burlap. Kind of scrunch it in the middle, and then I'm going to take some twine and just tie around the middle. I think I only tied it once in the back just because that's right where the hot glue is going to go anyway, so I just put a dab of glue on there, and then I'm trying to decide if I want to lay it right in the center or just where, but I opted to put it more towards the top there. And now I'm just taking a few pieces of fabric that I tore off in strips of ticking and some cotton fabric, and then I've even got some cheesecloth strip there, and just make the awareness bows shapes and then scrunch them in the middle and tie some jute cord around them. And then I get a long enough piece of the jute cord that I can make a bow on top and just add that on with all my ribbons. And I'm going to glue that right on top of the netted bow. Trim all the tails and pieces that are straggling. Just kind of arranging it. And the cheesecloth on the one side, the bow, was way too big in my opinion, so you'll see after I get it glued down, I'll end up just cutting that and trimming it up a little bit after I flare it out there. Right here's where I decided to just cut that and trim it up, and I thought it looked a lot better that way. Then I have a little wood heart button that I'm just going to glue in the center there. It just kind of finishes it off, I think. Now I'm taking a piece of jute twine again, and on one end I'm tying a little brass key that I have, and then on the other end, you'll see that I have a little rusty heart that I'm going to tie on. Then I'm just going to hang those, glue those underneath the bow and hang them down beneath the bow. Right here I'm just trying to adjust and see what length I want before I tie it on the heart. Excuse me. And I hesitated. I thought at first I would put two hearts hanging down. I think that would have looked really cute too, but I'm kind of glad I put the key on there too. Just gluing it and securing it underneath the bow there. trimming the tails up a little bit more. I have this wooden little heart that I also got at Dollar Tree. At first I was using my little distress ink, but it just wasn't quite dark enough. Wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So I got my Kiehl's dark sealing wax and put this on, and it was perfect. Perfect dark color for it. Then I'm just going to wrap some jute twine back and forth in my fingers and make a little bow quickly to put on top of that, just so it's not alone there. But first I'm going to glue it onto my big heart. Right there I'm making the little bow, wrapping around the center a little bit before I glue it on. And the last thing I'm going to put on here, and I'm not sure what you call them, but I have these little brass plates that you put on like maybe drawer fronts and that. And instead of using the screw holes for screws, I had these tiny little heart brads. So I'm just putting those in the holes. And then when I hot glue, I'm making sure I hot glue those and secure them on where I want them in the back. Then I made this little tag that just says love. And I'm putting that inside, and I'm going to hot glue it so it stays put, get in the corners so it doesn't move. And I realized I didn't quite have enough glue, so I wanted to make sure it was on there really good and secure. And just put that down at the bottom. And that is it for this project. I was really, oh, that's right, I had to dirty up my bow a little bit. Scrub it up with my ink dauber. And now that's it. I'm really happy with this project. I hope you are too. I hope it inspires you to make something similar. And thank you for watching.